A chilly spring afternoon here in Athens, Ohio. The Ohio Bobcats and the VMI Kadets in Game 2 of this weekend non-conference series set to get underway as the Bobcats look for a series win and their first time with consecutive wins this season. Carson Francis joining you today with Daniel Barnard from Bob Wren Stadium. Daniel, last night the Bobcats took Game 1 of the series, an 8-5 win over VMI. What stood out to you from that game last night?
Yeah, you know what really stood out to me was the Bobcats' ability to limit the running, Carson. VMI came into this series with 172 stolen bases on the season. That is good for first in the nation, and that leads the nation. The next closest is 60 stolen bases fewer. Wofford, who Ohio faced earlier this season, has 112 stolen bases. VMI, 172, and they didn't steal one base last night. They're averaging over 5 per game, so the ability for the Bobcats to limit that running was huge, and they're going to have to do it again here this afternoon if they want to hang in this one.
Yeah, the starting pitchers now for the Bobcats. Coach Moore last night said that their start from Blake Gasky was one that they needed, and they're going to look for more of the same from Hudson Bonkel, their starter today.
Yeah, Hudson Bonkel has been very solid for this Ohio team so far this year. Last time out, ran into a little bit of a hiccup. 5 2/3 of an inning pitched. He gave up 7 earned runs. So looking to bounce back today, but he's had a pretty solid season to this point, Carson. Hasn't given up less than 4 or more than 4 runs, I should say, in any other game this season.
And on the other side for the Kadets, Jackson Lloyd, a man who's 4-1 on the season, but rides a 6.88 ERA. Looking to cool the bats on the other side for Ohio.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And, he hasn't been all that bad this year either. This will be his 8th start of the season. He's got a 4-1 record, the ERA just under 7. So he'll be looking to get that ERA down. But the one thing that sticks out from him is he can strike batters out in a hurry. If the season ended today, Carson, he would have the best strikeout per 9-inning ratio in a VMI single season and total career history. So he can strike them out. He can mow them down. He's got 12 strikeouts per 9. Looking for a lot of strikeouts from him today. But this Ohio team doesn't strike out that much either. So it'll be one of those battles of who can get the upper hand early.
Yeah, should be an exciting pitching matchup. Two power pitchers on the mound for each team. And now let's quickly take a look at the batting lineups for both teams. We'll start with the Kadets of VMI coming into today's game 21-14, looking to even the series at 1 apiece. They'll start out with Owen Prince, the center fielder, leading off, followed by Bradley Garner, the transfer from USC Upstate, at second base. Grayson Fitzwater batting third in the lineup in right field, followed by the designated hitter Cole Riley batting in the cleanup spot. Boston Torres in left field, James Newsom at first base, Ryan Peterson the catcher, Andy Schnars the third base, and Kaz Jordan the shortstop round out the lineup for the Kadets. Daniel, who in that lineup are you looking to have a big game?
Well, it's going to come from Owen Prince. He's been on base in every single game this season for the Kadets. He has been outstanding at the top of that order. So if he's able to set the table and get things going for Bradley Garner and Grayson Fitzwater and Cole Riley, I think they're going to have a lot of success at the top of that order, and they're going to be able to run a lot on this Ohio team. Now, Jackson Cothran is behind the plate for Ohio again today. He was behind the plate for Ohio last night, limited the running well, like I said, so we'll see if he's able to do so again today. It's a little warmer out today, maybe a little more loose for some of these players, so we'll see how that has any effect, but I'm really looking at the top of that order for the Kadets in trying to set the tone. They only scored 5 runs last night. 2 of them came in the 8th inning, so they were limited to 3 runs through 8 innings, Carson. They got to get going early today against the Bobcats.
Yeah, and Daniel, why don't you go ahead and take us through the lineup for Ohio looking to claim a series win today?
Yeah, absolutely. It would be like you said when we started, it would be the first time that Ohio's won back-to-back games all year if they're able to get the win today. So they're looking to do that behind Matt Einich leading off and playing shortstop for the Bobcats. Ben Slanker in the lineup hitting second. He plays right field. Paulie Mancino in center hitting third. Trey Cassidy bats fourth and plays first base. Also a catcher for this Bobcats team, but playing first base today, Trey Cassidy. Batting fifth, Nick Dolan at third base. Jackson Cothran, as I mentioned, the catcher, he hits sixth. Blake Reed, another catcher on this Bobcats squad. He's the designated hitter and hits seventh. Blake Reed has been a very, very big part of this Bobcats offense. We'll talk about it a little later on. After him hitting eighth, it'll be Cam Bryant at second base. And then rounding it up, Brady Alexander, the freshman, gets the start today in left field. And like we said, it'll be Hudson Bonkel on the mound for the Bobcats.
And we talked about, you mentioned it just now, we talked about it before we went live, 3 catchers in the lineup for Ohio. They're all deadly in the batting lineup. A combined 6 for 12 in the win last night. Blake Reed, 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in. He's been heating up for this Bobcat offense.
Yeah, and I say this every game that I do, every Ohio game that I do, I mention this stat for him. Coming into this year, Carson, he hadn't recorded more than 12 at-bats in a single season, and now this year he's 18 for 54. He's really taken that next step, albeit as a graduate senior. But, you know, Blake Reed has really taken that next step. He's got 5 multi-hit games, including last night, had a 4 RBI game versus Toledo, and he's got 3 home runs this season, all of them coming in the last 7 games. He has been outstanding. He has been a welcome surprise, I guess you could say, for this Bobcats offense. I'm really looking for him to continue that success at the plate here this afternoon, and it's a big boost for the bottom of the order to be able to have a bat like that in the last 3 in the order. It's huge to propel an offense and try to flip that lineup again and get back to the top. So he has been outstanding, Carson.
Coach Craig Moore, as I mentioned, said that the start they got last night was much needed, and that's really symbolic of the outlook of this series. Always good to start a weekend series with a win. What else does Ohio need to do today to claim game 2 and a series win?
Well, Carson, they got to play clean. They had one error yesterday, but they got to play clean behind Hudson Bonkel. This VMI team is going to test the defense, to say the least, especially with their running. Their ability to steal bases puts so much pressure on a defense, especially infielders and the catcher. So they got to play sound in the field, make the routine plays. You can't give VMI any outs. I think that's the big thing for Ohio. Of course, you got to keep the bats rolling. They've been a very strong offensive team so far this year. 8 runs on 13 hits. Last night, VMI with 5 runs on 8 hits. VMI, they can hit as well. They're not just a running team. They're top 10 in the nation in batting average as well. So they've got a top 10 average offense, and they've got a top running offense as well. They steal the most bases in the league, top 7 in average. So they can do it all as well, but that's my key for Ohio.
Ohio and VMI, game 2 set to get underway from the Ren here in Athens, Ohio. We'll step aside as the Marching 110 is here to perform the national anthem. So we will step aside there, and we will return with first pitch from Athens. Game 2 of this non-conference weekend series between VMI and Ohio. It's Military Appreciation Day. Here at Bob Wren Stadium, the Ohio Army ROTC presented the colors for the national anthem, accompanied by the Marching 110 to play the Star Spangled Banner. Daniel, quite the atmosphere today.
Absolutely. I mean, we got the ROTC here, we got the Marching 110 here, and outside of that, the fans have packed Bob Wren Stadium as well. It's really nice to see. It's a chilly Saturday, but it feels a lot better than it did yesterday. That sun trying to poke through a little bit. I mean, it was that wind was whipping yesterday. So feels good here today. We'll see if the guys on the field are a little looser. An 8-5 final yesterday, so relatively higher scoring game than you normally see in baseball. But we'll see what kind of offense we get with the temperatures a little warmer here this afternoon. But we talked about it, Carson, a little bit ago. Hudson Bonkel on the mound for Ohio. This will be his 6th start of the year out of Corona, California. The senior right-handed pitcher stands 6'3", 205 pounds. He's got an ERA just over 5, does not walk many batters, and does rack up the strikeouts. He strikes out over 8 per 9. That's going to be key against this VMI offense here today, who ranks top 7 in the nation in batting average. They steal the most bases, and it all starts at the top of the order with Owen Prince. Talked about it in the open, Carson. He leads the nation in stolen bases. He's got 40 of them. He has been caught 8 times, but he's got 40 stolen bases, and he broke the single-season stolen base record for VMI against Longwood earlier this year. He's got the 5th most stolen bases in VMI history. A lot of speed on this team, and especially in the left-handed batter's box right now.
Bonkel winds up, delivers the first pitch for a called strike. We're underway from Bob Wren. Quickly back to work goes Bonkel. The 0-1 fouled off. Owen Prince batting .372 with 51 hits, 9 doubles, 2 homers on the season. The 0-2 from Bonkel, fouled into the gloves, strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and down goes Prince on strikes for the first out.
There you go. Just like I was talking about a minute ago, he can get the strikeouts. He racks those numbers up. VMI, not a team that strikes out a lot, but they do right there, and that is a huge, huge out number 1 on one of the fastest guys in all of college baseball.
Now Bradley Garner steps in, squares around to bunt. Bonkel making the catch for out number 2.
PFP, baby. We talk about it all the time. Hudson Bonkel fielding the position. This game could not have started any better for the Bobcats in the field so far.
Only 4 pitches in, and Hudson Bonkel's already got 2 retired.
That's efficient, to say the least.
Grayson Fitzwater steps in, takes one on the inside part of the zone for strike 1. Fitzwater, the junior out of Suffolk, Virginia. The 0-1. Bonkel finds it for a called strike 2.
Strikes, strikes, and more strikes to start the ball game for Hudson.
0-2 from Bonkel. Just misses high for ball 1.
And imagine he's feeding off of the energy from this crowd as well. Electricity ripping through Bob Wren right now.
Yeah, what an atmosphere today in Athens. The 1-2 foul to the backstop. Fitzwater stays alive.
And at the same time, you get this high intensity crowd. If VMI is able to put one over the wall or get some runs across, that is going to deafen this building.
1-2 from Bonkel. This one lined into right field, down for a base hit. Mancino fields it quickly, throws it in. A single off the bat of Grayson Fitzwater, and the Kadets have their first base runner of this ball game.
It was 1 for 4 last night. Smoked that one into the gap. Looked like a hanger from Bonkel. Just left it over the middle of the plate. Fitzwater did his job, moves the order for Cole Riley.
Riley, the designated hitter in the Kadets lineup. The Ohio native making his return back to his home state. First pitch. Outside corner, strike one.
Bluff move from first right there from Fitzwater. He's stolen 7 bags on 9 attempts this season, so not as many as some others in the lineup, but he can still run a little bit.
The 0-1. Riley takes this one down in the corner of the zone for strike two. Bonkel doing a great job getting ahead in the count so far.
And he's working with great pace as well, not really letting the hitters establish a rhythm at the plate, keeping them off balance, working fast.
0-2, swing and a miss. Riley down on strikes to end the inning. 2 strikeouts in the top frame for Hudson Bonkel, and the Bobcats will bring their bats out as we head to the bottom of the first. Don't go anywhere. It's Ohio and VMI. Bottom of the first inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. It's Jackson Lloyd, the starting pitcher for the VMI Kadets, set to go up against this powerful Ohio offense. And Matt Einich steps into the batter's box to lead things off.
Jackson Lloyd, we talked about in the open. Carson strikes out a lot of hitters. 12 per 9 innings. If the season ended today, he would have the best strikeout per 9 inning ratio in VMI single season and total history.
It's a very impressive stat, and like we talked about in the open, don't let that ERA fool you. This guy can come out onto the mound and get right to work. It's a 1-1 from Lloyd inside as Einich jolt out of the way.
Yeah, the ERA at 6.88. He's giving up 10 hits per 9 innings as well, so he strikes out a lot. He gives up a lot of hits, but the hits most of the time going for singles. He gives up half an extra base hit every 9 innings, so he limits the power, but he does give up quite a bit of contact.
Count is 2-2 to Matt Einich as Lloyd winds up. Einich fouls this one away.
that contact type of pitcher, and that's music to Matt Einich's ears. A contact hitter doesn't hit for a lot of power at the plate. We've seen him go yard, but mostly a contact hitter.
The 2-2. Einich fouls this one away and stays alive. Einich currently riding a 5-game hitting streak. He has a hit in all but 2 games this year. Here's the 2-2. Einich again fouls this one off with 2 strikes. Einich not making this easy on Jackson Lloyd.
And if nothing else, a great first at-bat. This is what you want from a leadoff hitter. You want him to work the count. You want him to see as many pitches as possible so he can go back to the dugout, even if he doesn't get on base, and let the rest of the offense know kind of the scouting report, what's coming from the starter on the mound.
2-2 again. Check swing did not go around, and now the count is full to the freshman.
And Ryan Peterson behind the plate thought that they had him on that inside corner, didn't get the call.
Payoff pitch, Lloyd missed it down low, and Matt Einich works his way to a leadoff walk to start the first.
That is some kind of eye at the plate. Those last 2 pitches, I feel, could have gone either way at the plate. It just depends on the umpire behind home plate, but Einich able to work that full count walk. I mean, he had to have seen 8, 9, 10 pitches in that at-bat alone. A really, really good at-bat to start the ball game for Ohio.
Pickoff over to first, unsuccessful as Ben Slanker, the batter for the Bobcats, 0 for 5 last night in the opener against VMI. Lloyd winds the first official offer now as a called strike 1.
Ben's the batter in Ohio's lineup that you look at as he could hit a home run anytime he's at the plate. He's got 14 of them on the year. He leads the MAC in that category.
0-1 to Slanker, lays off one on the outside corner. Ball 1. Last Saturday, Ben Slanker had a season-high 7 RBI in a 3 for 5 showing against Northern Illinois. He homered twice in that game.
One of them a grand slam. That's where 4 of the 7 RBIs came from.
The Bobcats' only win of that MACtion series out in DeKalb, Illinois. Slanker looking for another Saturday surprise here on his home field. The 1-1 runner goes. Here's a throw down to second, and Einich is out at second.
I don't know what happened with Einich, but he slowed up about 10 feet before he got to second and then started going right away again. I don't know if somebody called, or if he thought there was time, if he thought there was a foul ball. Craig Moore's going to come out and have a chat with the third base umpire. I don't know if he's arguing whether or not he thought he was safe or if something had happened during the play, but that was weird from Einich heading into second right there.
That's not to discredit the throw from the catcher, Ryan Peterson. That was a perfect throw. It was on line, but you have to think if Einich had ran full speed the entire time, he beats that throw pretty clearly.
Easily. He's easily there if he's running that entire time. But now he's been caught 5 times trying to steal.
The check swing from Ben Slanker is a called strike 2, and now the count is even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See if Ben Slanker can get it started again.
Try again to Slanker, gets out of the way, and once again a full count to Ben Slanker. Only played in 14 games last season, but he has been one of the staples in this Ohio batting lineup. The payoff pitch fouled away.
He didn't have a hit last night, Carson, so some might say he's due did not play in the midweek game earlier on this week. So he doesn't have a hit since Northern Illinois.
3-2. Slanker fouls this one away, and another Ohio batter working the count to the max and making Jackson Lloyd earn it.
Northern Illinois. It's not the Fighting Illini. Northern Illinois.
Now, they're not going to be in the MAC 2 years from now, so It's not really going to matter for that much longer as Slanker fouls this one into the VMI dugout.
No, but I would still hope that I can pronounce their school right.
The Northern Illinois Huskies leaving the MAC in 2026 to join the Mountain West in football. They'll head to the Horizon League in all other sports. Payoff pitch from Lloyd. Slanker into right field. You can forget about it. Daniel, you said Ben Slanker was due. I think he delivered right there. An absolute moonshot to hit the Bobcats the lead.
My, oh my. And it is 340 down the line in right field here at Bob Wren Stadium. And Ben Slank, if there's no nets on the softball field protecting fans from foul balls, that ball would have been on the softball field. And they're playing a game right now. Ohio softball taking on Toledo. Oh, that ball hit off of the protective netting. I mean, a moonshot.
I mean, all you could do is just stare at the ball as it sailed over that wall in right field. There was no doubt about it. It's Paulie Mancino trying to carry on the momentum, but he's quickly down 0-2.
The silver lining in that, if you're Jackson Lloyd, is the fact that they were able to get Matt Einich stealing a few pitches before. It could be 2-0. Instead, only a solo shot.
As Lloyd rebounds and sits Paulie Mancino down swinging 2 away.
And that's a huge bounce back right there for Jackson on the mound. Gives up the home run. Just a solo shot. Comes right back. 3 straight strikes. And now Trey Cassidy will try to extend the inning, but yeah, Ben Slanker just turned that fastball around on the inside court. I mean, right off the bat, everybody in this building knew it. That thing was not coming back, and the wind is blowing out to right, which probably helped a little bit.
Trey Cassidy stands in now 1 for 4 with a double last night in Game 1. Home run number 15 on the year for Ben Slanker. Bobcats out in front early, 1-0.
That looked like the furthest call on the outside part of the zone right there from our home plate umpire today. Jackson Lloyd getting the call, a nice slider.
1-1. Cassidy pops this one foul. Trey Cassidy usually is the man behind the plate for the Bobcats, but last night and today, getting some action out at first base. 1-2 to Cassidy, way outside. And that'll even up the count.
He can hit for quite a bit of power, too. Carson doesn't have a home run yet this season, but he's tied for 3rd in the MAC in doubles. Had another one last night against the Kadets. He can find the gaps.
2-2, swing and a miss. Lloyd strikes out the last 2 Bobcats, but not before Ben Slanker, with a moonshot over the right field wall, gives the Bobcats a 1-0 lead after an inning of play. We'll be right back for the second inning. Don't go anywhere. Ohio leading 1-0. Boston Torres, the batter for the Kadets, to lead off the top of the second inning. As Bonkel back out there for his second inning of work, is quickly fires a called strike one. Bonkel got off to a quick start in the first inning, 4 pitches and 2 outs. As a result of it is another called strike, 0-2 the count. Torres, the sophomore out of Alta Vista, Virginia, transferred in from Cedarville University. 0-2, line into left field, and it gets over the head of Alexander. This is going to be extra bases. Torres, stand-up double to lead off the second.
Those types of hits are just things of beauty. I mean, going the other way, hitting inside out, and completely turning around Brady Alexander in left field. He did not get a good read on that at all, Carson, but I don't think it would have mattered because Boston Torres smoked that ball off the bat, and now another base-stealing threat. In scoring position with no outs, I don't expect him to go, but he's 16 for 18 on the year. That was his 12th double of the season, and he continues his on-base streak every single game that he has reached safely.
Now with a runner in scoring position, that brings up James Newsom, the first baseman. Was 2 for 3, 2 runs batted in. He homered last night. He's homered in back-to-back games and 3 of his last 5. From the stretch, Bonkel upstairs for ball 2. Bonkel looks back, delivers the 2-1, just misses down and inside. And a favorable hitter's count to Newsom, 3-1.
And you know what? That's consistent with how the strike zone was in the first inning. These pitchers aren't getting the edges here this afternoon early on.
3-1 from Bonkel. This one finds zone, and now the count is full, 3-2.
I think that's about as far out as we see our home plate umpire go today. Nice off-speed, 3-1 count, nonetheless.
Payoff pitch. And it's ball 4, and now with nobody out, the appeal down to third base. They say he did not go around. And it's officially a walk for James Newsom. Runners on first and second, and nobody out for the Kadets.
First walk of the day for Bonkel on the mound. I think he thought that pitch was in the zone, much less that he went around. Doesn't walk many batters at the first.
Peterson, the catcher, squares around a bunt. Bare hand from Bonkel, throw over to first. And they're going to say Cassidy kept his foot on the bag. That throw a little offline. But a bare hand grab and throw from Hudson Bonkel gets the out. Sacrifice bunt from Ryan Peterson.
Circle that moment right there. I think we're going to get an umpire meeting just to make sure our first base umpire didn't miss something. And I think the best angle, the next best angle would have been from our home plate umpire. And they do still call him out. An outstanding play from Trey Cassidy at first base to be able to keep his foot on. Like I said, circle that moment, because if this inning doesn't, I don't want to say explode, I don't think that's the right word, but if Bonkel's able to limit damage here in this inning, that will come back to be a huge play.
He's still got to work out of this jam. 2 runners now in scoring position for Andy Schnars. It's called strike 1 there. Schnars batting .293 on the season. 5 multi-hit games on the year. 0-1 down and away. Schnars 1 for 3 last night, riding a 9-game hitting streak. 1-1 from Bonkel, swing and a miss.
He's got 20 RBIs this year, Carson. He's got 2 more out there in scoring position right now. He's been able to drive them in. Doesn't hit for much power.
1-2, fouled off.
But he can do a job with runners on base, that's for sure. Very much like Matt Einich for Ohio. More of that contact style hitting. He's got that 1 home run. It was his first career home run, being a freshman. Came versus Norfolk State. It was just over a week ago.
1-2, upstairs to even the count up.
Back on April the 2nd, he hit that ball out. About 10 days ago now.
Bonkel will try again, the 2-2, swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Hudson Bonkel, his 3rd of the afternoon, and there's 2 away.
And it doesn't get any easier, though. The 9-hole coming up, most might think, okay, might be an easier out than most. No, Kazuya Jordan, he can hit it as well. Hitting over 300. He's got 34 RBIs this season, Carson.
A chance to get 2 more here with 2 away as he lays off one high for ball 1. Jordan out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. The junior chops the 0-1 foul. 1-0, excuse me.
He's only 3 for his last 14 at the plate, so a little mini slump for him. I wouldn't necessarily consider that a big-time slump, but he's due right here, I guess you could say.
1-1, foul down the left field line. Jordan was 0 for 3 last night, did drive in a run off of a sacrifice fly. It is not a possibility here as there are 2 away. Need a base hit to get at least 1. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs at the eyes, evens the count at 2 apiece.
Change the eye level at the eyes. Maybe a little higher than Bonkel wanted that high fastball. Might be setting him up for something low here.
Bonkel will try again, the 2-2, down and away. And with 2 outs, the count is full at 3-2.
And he just yanked that one. It was still a fastball. Just held on to it for a little too long out there on the mound.
Payoff pitch. This one over to short, gets through for a base hit. 1 run scores, wave is on for another. 2 RBI single for Kaz Jordan, and the VMI Kadets take an early 2-1 lead.
What a great piece of hitting right there from Kaz at the plate. Just a nice ground ball through the left side. Got what he was looking for in a 2-strike count. Had to swing at anything close. And he made the turn around first. Carson on the throw in from Brady Alexander. He hit the cut. Nick Dolan. And Kaz was kind of caught in no man's land. But Nick Dolan didn't make the throw back to first. Jordan went stumbling back into the bag, but no throw. So he's back in safely, and VMI has the lead.
And now the Kadets are back to the top of the order. It's Owen Prince, the center fielder, back up there as a pickoff throw to first. It's a little too high. I think after Jordan stumbled between first and second after his single, I think Bonkel may be testing his base running ability. He does have 32 stolen bases on the year as he goes there. Throw down to second is in time. Kicked up in the turf, but Matt Einich still there to make the tag for out number 3. Not before the Kadets, however, take a 2-1 lead after a 2 RBI single from Kaz Jordan. We'll head to the bottom of the second, and we'll be right back.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Bobcats, third baseman, number 1, Nick Dolan.
Third baseman Nick Dolan set to lead off the bottom of the second for the Bobcats as Ohio are now trailing 2-1 to VMI. Cos Jordan 2 RBI single with 2 outs gave the Kadets the lead in the last half as Dolan check swings for a called strike. 1-1 the count.
I think Dolan was looking for the fastball right there, trying to jump all over it. He's been struggling at the plate, just 2 for his last 22.
Rockets that one foul. Good contact from Dolan.
Trying to break out of that slump with his favorite pitch.
So 1 for 5 last night, came around to score 258. His batting average on the year. 1-2. Dolan looks at that one high for ball 2.
If I'm Jackson Lloyd on the mound, I'm putting that ugly check swing in the memory bank for Nick Dolan. It's a good strikeout pitch.
2-2. Down in the turf. Count is full. Dolan, a redshirt senior. Been a focal point in this program for the last handful of years. The 3-2. Dolan pops this one foul and out of play.
You always notice the 110 here, don't you? They will make their presence felt.
And they got a little buddy there, Rufus, hanging out with the 110. Everybody's in attendance here at Bob Wren. Payoff pitch from Lloyd, fouled off. We talked about it earlier. Great atmosphere today at Bob Wren. We got Rufus, we got the 110, we got the ROTC here for military appreciation.
Rufus has quite the action for him today.
3-2. And Dolan lays off this one outside, and he's got a leadoff walk to start the second.
Whether it be 2 games over on the softball field or this one here today, Ohio athletics in full swing. A good at-bat right there for Nick Dolan. That's a big-time at-bat for a guy that's going through a slump at the plate. The fact that he's still able to see the pitches like that is a great sign that he's close. He's close to breaking out of that slump.
Now Jackson Cawthron check swings, got a piece of that one, foul ball. Cawthron, one of the catchers in that 3-headed monster in the Ohio lineup. He's behind the plate today, batted 2 for 4. Came around to score twice in game 1. Pick off over to first. Dolan able to get back in time. Cawthron played 2 seasons at Motlow State Community College in Tennessee before transitioning here to Ohio. 0-1 from Lloyd, and that ran up on Cawthron's head. And 2 batters faced in the inning, and 2 runners on for the Bobcats.
I think that one got him up around the shoulder area, but you're right, it was up and in. The fastball, it does not feel good anywhere that you get hit. But 2 free passes to start the inning. Bobcats working some good at-bats here. And here comes Blake Reed. Like I said, that good bat towards the bottom of the order. 2 hits in last night's ball game. Couple of doubles for him.
Runner goes from second, no throw, over to third, and Nick Dolan's got a stolen base.
And now watch for the delayed steal from first from Jackson Cawthron. Try to entice a throw and see if they can't steal a run. The Bobcats do like to do that. It's the 9th stolen base for Dolan on the season. Cawthron down at first, on the other hand, has 3.
1-0 the count to Reed. Cawthron goes from second, and he's safe at second. The Kadets might have been playing for a double steal, and that allows Cawthron slide into second safely. Stolen base for Jackson Cawthron.
Well, Lloyd lifted that leg, and Cawthron was gone right away. It wasn't any sort of delay. Cawthron was going on first move right there from Lloyd, which tells me that he was going to actually try and steal that bag no matter what. He wasn't going to try to get in a rundown.
A 1-0 to Reed in for a called strike 1. And now runners on second and third. A base hit here for Blake Reed. More than likely drives in 2. If you can get it past the infield. 1-1 to Reed. Down and away.
James Newsome at first, after he received that throw over from Lloyd on the mound, he had to make sure that Dolan wasn't going to take off, which allowed an extra split second for Cawthron to get in safely.
2-1 to Reed. Strike 2. 18 runs batted in for Blake Reed. He had 3 last night in an 8-5 win to start the series. Bobcats looking to take the lead back. 2-2. Reed into center. Coming in to make the catch is Prince. And 2 guys come in for it. The catch is made. Dolan tags up from third. Sacrifice fly for Blake Reed. And just like that, we're tied up again at 2.
And circle that one again right there, Carson, because some miscommunication in the outfield. That is Owen Prince's ball. 7 out of 7 days in the week. 27 out of 27 outs. That is his ball. But Boston Torres, coming all the way over from left field, has no momentum going towards the plate, snipes it from Prince in center field, and then fires in offline, heads up from Cawthron to notice the offline throw, and he takes third.
Cam Bryant stands in, takes a called strike. And you got to wonder what was going through Torres' mind, because as you said, Prince clearly was under that ball, was going to make the catch, and would have had a better throw to the plate. Bryant quickly down 0-2, runner on third with 1 out.
But if you're the Bobcats, you absolutely take that. You tie the game and still less than 2 outs. Obviously 2 strikes here on Bryant. Gotta have a 2-strike approach, but good chance to get another run across.
0-2 to Bryant. Bryant in the right field, base hit. RBI single from Bryant. Bobcats back in the lead.
Oh, we got a good one brewing today, Carson. It is only the 2nd inning, but loud contact from this Bobcats squad, and the ability to get on, get around, and get in for VMI. I don't think that the scoring is going to slow down anytime soon.
3-2 Ohio. In front is Brady Alexander. Hacks and misses. First strike 1. Alexander bursted onto the college baseball scene in his debut against Morehead State. 5 for 6, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. 0-1 misses down low for ball 1. Alexander just 4 for 18 since that magical start at Morehead State. Bryant on first with 1 away. Lloyd delivers. Alexander chopped over to short. Jordan jump throw. There is no throw. Infield single for Brady Alexander. And the hits keep coming for Ohio.
You take them any way you get them, whether they're 100 miles an hour off the bat, whether they're 70 miles an hour in a weak roller on the left side off the bat. It's a single in the scorebook, no matter how it comes off. And Bobcats are rolling with the top of the order coming to the plate. Their best contact hitter. Just got to find some grass.
Back to the top of the order goes Ohio. Matt Einich steps in with a chance to do some more damage. 2 runs have already come across this inning as Einich takes one inside, called strike 1. Einich walked and was caught stealing back in the first inning. Oh, 1 from Lloyd. Einich chopped over to first. Newsome is there. He'll make the tag himself. Runners advance, and there's 2 away.
It's an interesting decision from Newsome at first to take it to the bag. He definitely had to play at second, whether or not they were going to be able to turn it. I would assume that VMI would much rather have first and third with 2 outs versus second and third with 2 outs, because he was playing pretty far back on the infield, Carson, and usually you'll see a first baseman go to the bag if he's kind of even with the runner, but he had an angle where he could throw behind the runner and would have gotten him out at second. Decides to be safe and take the out. So 2 outs now, but 2 in scoring position versus just 1 in scoring position.
And if you're VMI, I don't know how you feel about number 10 in white being at the plate with 2 runners in scoring position. You remember, still fresh in our mind, what happened the last time he was at the plate, a rocket over that right field wall.
And they've started the at-bat. Lloyd started the at-bat by working away. Slanker was able to pull the pitch on the inside part over that right field wall, and working him a little further away here in this at-bat, trying to get him to roll over.
2-0 the count. Slanker into center field. This is caught by Prince for out number 3. Lloyd works out of a second and third jam to retire the side, but not before 2 runners come across the score for Ohio. And the Bobcats back in front, 3-2 as we head to the third.
You know that Ohio University has been named one of the nation's top military-friendly schools.
Bobcats back in front as we are set to begin the third inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. 3-2 the score as the Kadets are at the top of the order. Owen Prince leading things off. He was at the plate before Kaz Jordan was caught stealing to end the second.
Just the second time all year that Kaz has been caught trying to steal, and it's no small sample size. He's got 32 swipes.
Prince over to second. Bryant throws it over to first easily for out number 1.
Another good job of Bonkel right there to keep speed off the bases. Huge first out at the top of the order at the plate.
Bonkel's been doing a great job so far getting these outs quickly to start the inning. No different on that at bat as Bradley Garner Stands in, takes a called strike one. Garner, the transfer from USC Upstate. And when we talked to this VMI coaching staff, they said that when they picked up Garner out of the transfer portal, they weren't sure what they were going to get out of him. But it's been a pleasant surprise for this Kadets lineup so far.
He really has. He's been very solid all year long for the Kadets, hitting just shy of 400. 40 RBIs for him. And he has been outstanding. He's hit safely in 27 out of the 34 games that they've played this season. And he's got at least, or he had 1 RBI at least in his first 10 games. He can drive him in. He can get on. He can drive him in. Doesn't shy away from the big moment.
It's the 2-2 to Garner. One just inside at the elbows. Appeal to first. He did not go around. Count is full with 1 out.
Carson, you noted the efficiency from Bonkel.
He misses there. Ball 4. Garner's got to walk with 1 away.
That at-bat got away from him a little bit right there, but he's only at 40 pitches. Just over that 40-pitch mark here in the third. Working about 15 pitches an inning. Top of the order naturally going to work a little harder. But he's done a good job getting contact early, weak contact early. A few hard hit balls, including that ground out from Owen Prince. It was hit sharply off the bat, just right at Cam Bryant over at second base.
Garner walks for the 34th time this season as Grayson Fitzwater stands in singled in his first plate appearance. His first pitch high in the zone for strike 1.
I'm not sure what we had right there from our home plate umpire. He was writing something down on his note card. Usually they do that when there's a substitution, but we didn't get a pinch runner. We don't have a pinch hitter. Not sure exactly what he was writing down.
Pick off over to first. Garner able to get back in time. Yeah,
They also do it when there's mound visits or something like that.
Not sure what our umpire crew is cooking up.
They're in the lab with something.
Another pick off over to first. Really trying to keep Grayson Fitzwater or Bradley Garner, keep him honest out there and stalling Grayson Fitzwater at the plate. 0-1. Fitzwater pops this one up high. Einich underneath it in shallow center, making the grab, 2 away. Ball was hit a mile into the air.
And those can get really tough for middle infielders because not only are you having to look the ball into the glove, but you're also having to communicate with, in that case, Einich is having to communicate with Cam Bryant, letting him know he's got it. He's got to make sure that Paulie Mancino in center knows that he's got it. And that ball had some slice to it in the air. It wasn't straight up and straight down. It was moving quite a bit. And that can be tough to judge exactly where it's coming down and get in the relative vicinity so you can make a last-second adjustment if you need to. But those high pop-ups aren't as easy as they look. A lot that goes into them.
And stands Cole Riley, the designated hitter. Hometown for Cole Riley, Radnor, Ohio, just about 40 miles north of Columbus. Not too far from here in Athens. Pickoff throw to first, not in time. I got a little excited when I found out that Cole Riley was on this VMI roster. Kind of forgot about where he played college ball at, but I did get to watch him previously as he fouls this one back to the backstop. Riley, over the summer last year, played for the Chillicothe Paints of the Prospect League. batted .376 with 38 hits, 26 runs batted in, 2 homers, and helped the Paints post the best record in the Prospect League last season. He's named a Prospect League All-Star at the season's end. One from Bonkel. Breaking ball away for ball 2.
See so many of these D1 athletes in the Ohio area going to play for the Paints. They get a lot of, they get quite a few Ohio State guys too.
Riley pops this one into right field, and Slanker is under it to make the grab and retire the side. Hudson Bonkel surrenders the walk, but that's all. They can't advance the runner any further. And Bonkel comes out of the inning unscathed. 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the third. Paulie Mancino due up for the Bobcats when we come back.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Bobcats, center fielder number 3, Paulie Mancino.
Paulie Mancino leading off the bottom of the third for Ohio. It's called strike 1 there from Jackson Lloyd.
Bottom of the third over here at Bob Wren, but just past right field at the Ohio softball field there in the top of the 7th inning. And, of course, they only play 7 in softball at the college level. Tied at 1. Mid-American Conference Series, some action with the Bobcats taking on the Toledo Rockets. Ohio looking for the series win. They play 2 today. This is the first of 2. For those Ohio fans tuned in.
Mancino goes down swinging for the second time today. Second strikeout for Jackson Lloyd. Ohio softball second in the MAC, only behind those dreaded Miami Redhawks. Miami has played 3 extra MAC games than Ohio has, but they'll be able to settle things next weekend. The Redhawks coming to town for a weekend series, the Battle of the Bricks. As this one sent into the gap in left field, down for a base hit for Trey Cassidy. Cassidy holds up between first and second, makes his way back to first. The 1-out single for Cassidy.
And you love to see the hustle out of the box. Cassidy was thinking, too, off the bat, and that's got to be the mentality until the very last second. He got about a third of the way to second and slammed on the brakes. And when I say slammed, I mean he slammed on the brakes. Scrambled back into first. Just a nice piece of hitting into the left center field gap, going the other way. Starting something for the middle of the order.
Cassidy goes. Here's the throw down to second, not in time. Stolen base for Trey Cassidy.
If that throw had a little more juice on it, I think that they might have a chance to get him. But Cassidy took off so fast that Ryan Peterson had to get rid of it quickly. Didn't have a chance to get much on it.
Nick Dolan quickly, favorable count 2-0. As he walked in his last time up. It's a really good at bat from Dolan working his way to that walk. 2-0. Dolan just lays off, and it's just a bit outside. 3-0.
That stolen base for Cassidy a moment ago, his second of the season. Not a prominent base stealing threat, but gets one here this afternoon.
Take all the way from Nick Dolan, 3-1. Dolan batting .258 on the year. 3-1, swing and a miss.
Stepped out on the swing. He was bailing out and away from the ball. Got to step towards it, swing through the baseball. If I'm Lloyd, I'm trying to attack that outside corner right here after seeing that.
Payoff pitch from Lloyd. Called strike 3. Lloyd works his way from behind 3-0 and strikes out Dolan looking. Fourth on the afternoon now for Jackson Lloyd.
Came inside with it. Attacked him with that inside fastball. Dolan maybe crowding the plate a little bit. It was right in on his hands, but it was right over that inside corner of the plate. Great placement with the fastball.
Now Cawthorn stands in, 2 away, and Trey Cassidy waiting on second base. As Lloyd looks Cassidy back over to second. Just trying to keep him on his toes. Cawthorn looking for RBI number 10 on the year. One 0 the count. Lloyd. Cawthorn didn't go around there. Almost had to dodge out of the way there for ball 2. VMI 21-14, currently 5th in the SoCon. It's a 2-0. Called strike 1.
Good off speed, a good get right pitch for Lloyd on the mound, back in the zone. He loves working that slider away to left-handed hitters. Gone to the well quite a bit.
It's 2-1 now. Cawthorn into right field. And Fitzwater underneath it makes the grab, and that retires the side. Bobcats get a runner in scoring position, but can't bring him home. We've played 3 full innings here in Athens, and the Bobcats are ahead 3-2 as we head to the 4th. We are 1/3 of the way through here at Bob Wren Stadium. It's a Military Appreciation Day. It's also Bark in the Park weekend. I see a lot of people coming out to the ballpark with their four-legged friends. 3-2 Ohio in front as Boston Torres set to lead us off for VMI.
Bark in the Park weekend. Today's also Military Appreciation Day. A huge thank you to everyone across the United States military. I thank each and every one of them for their service.
Absolutely.
The ROTC here at Ohio University in attendance today.
Pop fly over to short. Einich is there to catch it for out number 1.
Tomorrow, if you're thinking about coming out to the ballpark, a 1 p.m. first pitch, it is Youth Day. They are giving away Ohio baseballs to kids in attendance.
Always got something fun going on whenever we have a weekend home series here at Bob Wren. 0-1 the count to Newsom. Thought about going around, but it doesn't matter. It's strike 2.
They do. That promo team, marketing team does a good job.
0-2 the count. Ground ball over to Dolan. Quick throw over to Cassidy at first, and quickly there's 2 away in the Kadets batting lineup.
That's a really solid play from Dolan right there. That ball got on him in a hurry. Nice play.
We've seen Nick Dolan all throughout this season really captain this infield. And as I mentioned, redshirt senior, been in this program for a long time. These guys look to him as a leader, almost an extension of this coaching staff. Ryan Peterson sacrifice bunt his last time up.
Oh, he knows the system, Dolan does, knows what's expected of him, the redshirt senior. Been around for a long time here in Athens.
1-1. Peterson lifts this one into left field. Alexander camps out underneath it. 1-2-3. 4th inning. Go the VMI Kadets. A quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Hudson Bonkel. 7-8-9 due up for the Bobcats as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Don't go anywhere.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning, the Bobcats. Designated hitter number 14, Blake Reed.
Blake Reed, the designated hitter, leads off the Bobcats in the bottom of the 4th inning. Daniel, during the break, had one of our favorite promotions here at OU home games, the hot dog race, turning into a fan favorite.
It doesn't get any better than a good old hot dog, ketchup, and mustard race around the warning track. Hot dog took it home today.
Hot dog just beating out ketchup in a relatively close race.
Yeah, mustard was left in the dust.
Yeah.
Mustard did not bring it today. But we were talking about it. Last time you and I did a game together was a few weeks ago, and it was a midweek game, and Mustard maybe getting a little karma for his performance in that one today.
Reed grounds out to Jordan, the shortstop, for out number 1. Quickly one away for Jackson Lloyd and the Kadets.
But in that one, as you remember very well, Mustard
I made it known on the podcast. I was not happy with how that race went.
Mustard slammed ketchup into the wall to get an advantage. That was a couple weeks ago. Today, Mustard not having much success.
Of course, this was a race that was ran by some of our ROTC students at Ohio University, as we've mentioned before, Military Appreciation Day. So our promotions team getting the ROTC students involved best way they can. Once again, Military Appreciation Day, the Army, ROTC, as well as the Ohio University Marching 110, the most exciting band in the land. In attendance for this game today is Cam Bryant pops this one up. Underneath it is Garner at second, and quickly the Bobcats now have 2 away.
Well, this game started really quickly in terms of scoring, Carson. These 2 pitchers, Jackson Lloyd and Hudson Bonko, have both calmed down a little bit here over the past couple of innings out there on the mound. We don't have any runs scored since the bottom of the 2nd. Now, granted, it's only the bottom of the 4th, but with the way the game was going, it slowed down a little bit.
Alexander pops this one up into right. Fitzwater had to backtrack, but he's able to make the catch. 1, 2, 3, go the Bobcats in the 4th. Both teams go down in order in inning number 4, and we head to the 5th with 8-9-1 due up for VMI. Ohio still in front 3-2 here in Athens. Set to go for the 5th inning at Bob Wren Stadium and over on Ohio. We're getting extra innings. Toledo and Ohio tied at 1, 7 innings, not enough to decide that one.
Ohio leaving the bases loaded in the 7th inning. Tough pill to swallow. That game is live over on ESPN Plus.
Sam Hyman and Jamie Spears on the call, just next door at Ohio softball field. Daniel and I will be on ESPN Plus tomorrow with the series finale. Ohio and VMI Game 3. 1 o'clock first pitch here from Bob Wren. Josh Herner will join us as well.
He was on the call last night. Looking forward to that.
1-1 to Andy Schnars. Breaking ball finds his own for strike 2. Schnars struck out his last time up back in the second. 1-2 from Bonkel, high and away.
The top of the order looming. These first 2 at-bats are big, to say the least, for Bonkel here in this 5th inning. He's had a solid last couple of innings, wanting to start quickly and not have any traffic on the bases when Owen Prince comes to the plate.
Bonkel missed on that last one. Fills up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the freshman. Payoff pitch. This one lined into right field. Slanker there to make the play for out number 1. The ball had some speed off the bat. Just right into Ben Slanker's position. He was able to adjust and make the play. Now Kazuya Jordan, who singled and drove in 2 back in the second, VMI's only 2 runs of this game. Oh, 1 to Jordan upstairs. 1-1 the count. Jordan, the junior, out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, takes called strike 2 there. Finished top 25 in the nation in stolen bases last season with 29. As the 1-2 struck him out. Jordan goes down looking. 2 away here in the 5th inning. The 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Hudson Bonkel.
Huge first couple of outs for Bonkel to get the 5th going. Exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, you mentioned, Daniel, it was going to be huge getting those first 2 batters down with the top of the order due up. 2 up, 2 down now for Owen Prince. He fouls this one off. He's quickly down. Excuse me, that's only strike number 1. Now the count is even. 1-1 from Bonkel. Just misses high and upstairs. Prince grounded out to second. Back in the 3rd, struck out to begin the game. Team leader in hits with 51 as count is back even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Prince fouls this one out in left field into the Ohio bullpen. Bonkel waits the sign, winds and deals the 2-2. This one lined up the middle, base hit. Single for Owen Prince. Hit number 52 on the season, and he keeps the inning alive with a single.
It's a good piece of hitting right back where it came from, and that's why it was so important for Hudson Bonkel to get the first 2 in the inning. And Schnars and Jordan aren't easy batters to retire, but being at the bottom of the order, you really need to get those outs before flipping it. Bonkel did, so now just 1 on for Bradley Garner.
Called strike 1 to Garner. You took the words right out of my mouth, Daniel. Just sent that right back where it came from. Up the middle and in perfect position where Bryant or Einich, neither one could get there. Garner chops this one foul. Update from right next door. Toledo has taken a 3-1 lead over the Bobcats. A 2-run shot to give the Rockets the lead. 1 out in the top of the 8th. 0-2 from Bonkel. This one into right field. Slanker hustling foul ball into the VMI bullpen. Some loud foul balls off the bat of Bradley Garner this time up. Garner, the third leading hitter on this team. 46 hits on the season. Pickoff over to first, not in time.
Good pickoff move today from Bonkel.
0-2, just misses outside. Some of the crowd here at Bob Wren showing their displeasure towards that call.
It's been a ball all game long, though, and that's all you can ask for is the consistency. Those corners, very tight.
Bonkel will try again. 1-2, got him swinging that time. Down goes Gardner on strikes. Side is retired. And Bonkel's completed his 5th inning of work. Bobcats still in front, 3-2. They'll look to add to it. Top of the order, due up in the bottom of the 5th.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning to the Bobcats. Shortstop, number 15. Kadets.
Top of the order, due up for the Bobcats. It's Matt Einich taking a ball to start this at bat. Einich 0 for 1. He walked back in the 1st inning. As Lloyd misses again, ball 2 quickly. Einich ahead 2-0 in the count, looking for his first base hit of this game still. As Einich rockets one into right foul. That ball had the same speed off the bat as the Ben Slanker home run back in the 1st.
He's on it. That's for sure.
2-1 to Einich. He lays off this one down and away. Favorable 3-1 count.
Ryan Peterson might get that call sometimes. That was a good frame from him behind the plate, just a little too low.
3-1, Einich. Just foul. That ball was in the vicinity of Newsom, the first baseman. But he would have had to make a really tough play. That was a rocket off the bat of Einich. Payoff pitch from Lloyd. Lined up the middle, base hit. Leadoff single for Matt Einich to start the 5th inning.
It's his first hit of the ball game today, Carson.
Right fielder, number 10.
The Max second, the top two in batting average in the conference. Hitting .422 coming into this game, and adds another hit there. He's now hit safely in 16 out of 17 games.
Now Slanker stands up for the third time. Pick off over to first. Einich able to get back to first safely. There's no official offer to Ben Slanker. Now the first one is this one down and away. Slanker began the game with a bang, a rocket over the right field wall, a solo shot. Give the Bobcats their first lead of the night. 13 multi-hit games on the year for Ben Slanker, looking to make it 14 if he can get a base hit here. Einich at first, 1-0 the count. Lloyd delivers, called strike one. The Bobcats will face VMI a third time tomorrow at 1 o'clock. From there, they will travel to Dayton for a rematch with the Flyers. Appeal over to the middle infield umpire. This Slanker did not go around 2-1 the count.
In that Dayton game, the one that you and I did together. And oh man, Rylan Luho. I will never forget that name. That's how much of an impact he made.
5 for 6, hit his first career home run.
And second.
And second career home run. That's second in the bottom of the ninth inning, 2 outs to tie the game. As Dayton will go on to win 9-8 in 12 innings.
Just a little Dayton scouting report for those tuned in.
Yeah, keep an eye on that name, Rylan Luho. He is a player to watch, not only for Dayton, but throughout the Atlantic 10. Slanker fouls this one to the backstop. We noticed in Slanker's first at-bat when he hit the home run, he worked Jackson Lloyd to a full count, made him throw a lot of pitches, got the one he liked, and took it right where he wanted it. Maybe trying to do a little bit of the same here. Pick off to first. Einich gets back in time. Another attempt over to first. Lloyd dead set on keeping Matt Einich at first for the time being.
He tries to steal a lot of bases. Tried one earlier.
2-2. And Slanker lays off this one. Another full count to Ben Slanker. Lloyd pick off again to first.
With a full count in this situation, it's a good pitch to go on. If you're Matt Einich at first, base hit, ball four mentality, almost like a hit and run. Unless it's out of the zone, then it's ball four, you automatically get second.
Payoff pitch, Slanker over to pass first and down the right field line for a base hit. Einich into third. They're going to send him home. Einich into home, standing up. RBI triple for Ben Slanker. You think he's made an impact today? It's 2 hits today, a home run, and now a blistering triple down the right field line to drive in a run. 4-2 Bobcats.
And if the Bobcats are able to keep the bats rolling, I think that we can put Ben Slanker on cycle watch with a triple and a home run. He's got the 2 hardest legs. I've seen the 5th. It's going to be tough to get him up 2 more times, but got a meeting on the mound before we get any further in this one. Ben Slanker, that was his first triple of the season. Carson is the 2nd hit of the series. That slugging percentage is also another category that he leads the conference in, and the home run and the triple certainly helps those categories. Now the middle of the order coming up, Paulie Mancino with nobody down. Your job as the 3-hole is just to put the ball in play, make something happen. You got to get that runner in from 3rd any way you can. Obviously you want to get on and continue the rally, but leading by 2 here in the middle stages against a very solid VMI team, and it looks like it's not just a mound visit. We're going to go to the bullpen.
So that's going to wrap it up for Jackson Lloyd today. His day is officially over. New pitcher on the mound for VMI, and we'll tell you more about him when we return. 4-2 Bobcats here in VMI is Clark Driscoll, the junior out of Midlothian, Virginia, as he faces Paulie Mancino, who takes a called strike 1. Jackson Lloyd's day comes to an end after he pitched 4 full innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 4. He is responsible for Ben Slanker over at 3rd.
Clark Driscoll's 12th appearance of the season. He's got a 6.3 ERA, Carson. And one thing that stands out when you look at his numbers is the fact that those 10 innings, he's thrown 10 innings. And those 10 innings this season, he's had 7 appearances with less than an inning pitched. So they haven't all come full innings at a time.
He gets the first out, sits down Mancino on strikes. For the 3rd time today, Mancino wearing the sombrero right now. Still only one out, and Trey Cassidy now at the plate, singled in his last at-bat.
He's hoping to avoid the golden sombrero. He's wearing the hat, but Paulie Mancino struggling early today. Still going to have a chance to make up for it. He'll at least have one more at-bat with the way this one's going. But more on Driscoll on the mound. He's got a season-high 2 2/3 innings pitched and 3 strikeouts, both in the same outing versus George Washington. Stands 5'5". Little guy out there on the mound for VMI.
Well, the little guy trying to do a big thing here for his team. Runner on third, his team trailing by 2, looking to get out of this inning.
You can't let that size fool you, though. He can fire it in, averaging 11 strikeouts per 9 innings, limiting opponents to just a .250 batting average coming into the ball game today. Keep you off balance, that's for sure.
2-1, Cassidy, foul down the right field line.
Good job of turning on that pitch from Cassidy. Just a little too much, though. Hooked it a little too far down the line. Now they're going to bring the infield in.
Seen a lot of loud contact off of Trey Cassidy's bat today. See if he can make it count. He fouls this one the opposite way now. Watch out. Some fans getting out of the way. They're sitting on the grass hill over behind third base.
Some dogs over there. Let them loose. They'll go fetch it. Go chase it down for us.
2-2 from Driscoll. This one kicks up in the turf and blocked by the catcher Peterson. Count is full, 3-2.
That is a big league take right there from Trey Cassidy. You see several fastballs in a row, belt high, and then Clark just drops it right off the table in the dirt. That's tough to lay off.
3-2. Cassidy fouls this one away. Payoff from Driscoll. Inside, ball 4. Trey Cassidy's aboard once again. And now runners stand on the corners with one away.
Fantastic at-bat from Trey Cassidy right there. Sees a lot of pitches from the new arm, who, like I said, doesn't have a track record of working too long in his relief outings. He's been very efficient in his relief outings, I should mention. The ERA has mainly been inflated in part to his outing at Stonehill when he went a third of an inning and gave up 4 earned. Outside of that, in his 10 innings this season, he's thrown 9 2/3 and only given up 3 runs, Carson. So that outing against Stonehill is bringing that ERA up 3 whole runs. Now, he has been very solid. It's very easy to get caught up in the stats. Gotta look past it sometimes.
1-0, Dolan squared around the bunt. He pulled back. We see over at Ohio softball field not looking very pretty for the Ohio Bobcats. Toledo puts up a 7 spot in the 8th inning, 8-1. Rockets in front. Dolan pulls back on the bunt. Cassidy up to second base. He goes. Second stolen base of the afternoon for Trey Cassidy. And now the Bobcats have 2 runners on in scoring position with 1 out and a 3-0 count to Nick Dolan.
Trey's got more stolen bases today than he had on the season coming into the game.
3-0. And Dolan lays off that one away. Ball 4. Second walk of the game for Dolan, and now the bases are juiced for Jackson Cawthron.
4th walk of the day from VMI pitching, and that might be the final straw. It is. And another point to the bullpen for the Kadets.
Sam Roberts on his way out of the dugout. Another pitching change for VMI. That'll do it for Clark Driscoll. And we'll tell you more about the new pitcher for the Kadets when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Kadets, Nolan Williamson out of Hanover, Virginia, making his 4th appearance on the year. Inherits a bases-loaded situation for Jackson Cothran.
Bases loaded, and the 3 runners on base, their responsibility is from 2 different pitchers. Ben Slanker still stands at third from Jackson Lloyd giving up the triple, and then at second base, Trey Cassidy, first base, Nick Dolan, they were both walked by Clark Driscoll. Clark was able to get an out, and now Nolan Williamson, like you said, only 3 appearances on the year, Carson. He too, 2 of his 3 appearances have been less than an inning pitched. He gave up 3 earned against Holy Cross, 4 earned his last time out 8 days ago against Mercer. His best appearance of the season against Norfolk State, when a full inning did not give up a run. He walked 2 his last time out as well. A walk here would bring in a run.
Cothran looking for double-digit RBIs here. Check swing. He went around, strike 2, the count to the Murfreesboro, Tennessee native.
But they bring in the lefty out of the bullpen. He doesn't have much experience on the year, but the lefty-on-lefty matchup is what VMI is going for.
1-2 the count. Williamson down and away.
They do have a righty loosening in the bullpen.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 2-2 upstairs, and now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
One of the biggest, if not the biggest pitch of the game coming up on this next pitch.
Payoff pitch from Williamson. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout. And welcome to the game, Nolan Williamson.
I cannot emphasize the big in that strikeout enough. Massive from Nolan Williamson. Now it's going to take a base hit unless there's some form of a pass ball, wild pitch, or balk. And it looks like they're going to go to the bullpen again, Carson. I haven't seen the motion yet, but that might have just been a one-batter stint for Nolan Williamson. We'll see if they do make the move. Still no sign yet. Because now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in college, is there that 3-batter minimum rule that there is in the MLB? I should know this, but I don't.
You know,
I can't say that I'm 100% positive.
I'm in the same boat as you. I
know that we have the pitch clock, obviously, but I know in MLB and in the minors as well that a pitcher has to face at least 3 batters unless he finishes an inning.
No pitching change will be made here, so just a quick little chat with Sam Roberts, the head coach of the Kadets. And we talked to Roberts before this game, and he had a pretty successful playing career for the Kadets. He, up until last season, was the program's all-time leader in hits, and he ranks top 3 in 9 career categories for the Kadets. Blake Reed now in there with the bases loaded, takes ball 1. Ben Slanker still on third after the RBI triple. Trey Cassidy at second, Nick Dolan at first. 2-0 the count to Blake Reed. Reed hit his first home run of the season in the series finale with Eastern Michigan. 2-0, Reed pops this one mile high in the air, foul ground. Newsome underneath it, makes the grab, and the inning is over. Jackson Lloyd and Clark Driscoll both off the hook. The runners they were responsible for when they left the game do not come around to score, and Nolan Williamson leads the Ducks on the pond for Ohio. Score remains 4-2 Bobcats as we head to the 6th. Top of the 6th inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. Set to get underway. Hudson Bonkel back out there, as the Bobcats do lead 4-2, but could have had a little more insurance as they left the bases loaded to end the 5th.
They could have had a little bit more, and now if you're Hudson Bonkel, you're making the trip back out to the mound after sitting for a while on the bench. Despite Ohio only getting one run across, the Kadets went to the bullpen twice.
As this one rocketed into right field, Slanker going back, and Slanker's out of room. Solo home run to right field for Grayson Fitzwater. And just like that, the Kadets cut the lead down to 1. It's 4-3 after Fitzwater homers to right.
Extends his team lead in home runs to 13 on the season. And he can hit the ball a long ways. That's RBI number 51 for him. A multi-hit game, that being his 12th on the season as well. Well, he got that one up there in the air. Wasn't sure if it was going to die at the wall or if it was going to carry, and it just did carry out of here. Not much wind today, but it is blowing out to right for what it's worth.
As you said, RBI number 51, home run number 13. Leading the team in home runs, second in runs batting in.
Carson, this is a guy that just a year ago broke the single-season RBI record at VMI, and he tied the single-season record for home runs with 18. So he's got 13 of them now this year. Trying to mark his name down in the history books once again at VMI.
If you're Hudson Bonkel now, no rest for the weary. As Cole Riley at the plate, 1-1 the count. He's 0 for 2 on the day. As called strike 2 to Riley there. Riley, 11 homers on the season. And 40 hits as well, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good recovery for Hudson Bonkel. Sits Cole Riley down on strikes for the second time today. One away here in the 6th.
Strikeout number 6 for Hudson in the ball game. He has been very solid on the mound for the Bobcats today. Talked about it earlier on. He averages 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, so he's getting very close to that number here in the 6th. In his sixth start of the year. He didn't start as a starter, though, Carson. He started the season coming out of the bullpen, but this Bobcats staff has dealt with some injuries, most notably to Dylan Masters, and that Masters injury happened relatively recently. But for Bonkel on the mound, he started in some midweek games earlier this year, and he pitched well enough that it really impressed this coaching staff. And Jacob Tate, who was a starter before having Tommy John surgery last year, has now moved into more of an opener and a bullpen role, and Hudson Bonkel has kind of inserted himself into the rotation, being the Saturday guy for the Bobcats.
2-2 from Bonkel, misses high to Boston Torres, who is 1 for 2 with a double.
And he's given the Bobcats length, 5 innings in each of his last 6 outings.
He's got another strikeout there, the drop third strike. Cawthron throw over to first to complete the strikeouts. And Bonkel has sat down back-to-back batters on strikes after the leadoff homer.
And saying that 5+ innings, I should say, in each of his last 6 outings. So now that is his last 7 outings, because that was coming into today.
James Newsom takes one high and inside for ball 1. Bonkel looking to complete 6 full innings of work today. Newsom, chopper over to Cassidy at first. And we've got time called.
It's a foul ball. I think it hit off of Newsom's foot or leg. It hit off some part.
It's the only explainable reason for that would have been It hit off of part of Newsom.
As he wasn't running at all. It wasn't like he was trying to sell it. He made it. If he was trying to sell it, he's a very, very good actor. Wouldn't be surprised if he's an acting major.
1-2, the count to Newsom. Bonkel delivers this one, lined over to third, and Dolan makes the grab for out number 3. 6 quality innings for Hudson Bonkel, but a leadoff homer in the 6th. Cuts the deficit to 4-3. Ohio still in front by 1. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th here in Athens.
Student veterans of American chapter is here to support you. SBA offers a welcoming environment.
Getting set for the bottom of the 6th inning, Nolan Williamson, back out there for the Kadets out of the bullpen. Cam Bryant set to lead off for the Bobcats. Some of these dad jokes from Daniel over here going over my head.
In one ear, out the other.
As you could say here. Once again, it is Military Appreciation Day here at Bob Wren Stadium. We want to once again wish a extension of gratitude to anybody watching, anybody at all who has served our country, for their service and their sacrifice. Bryant pops this one into shallow center. Coming in to make the play is Prince, and quickly Bryant is retired for out number 1.
Can sense some frustration from the VMI dugout, hearing them yelling out to their fielder, talk, as in communicate, scream. Whoever is going to call that ball, make sure you're loud and clear, and I got to imagine that goes back earlier on in the ball game to the miscommunication between Boston Torres and Owen Prince in center field when Torres came over from his left field spot and made a catch in right your shallow center field. I wouldn't even call it left center field that ball was. It was more dead on center, and it allowed for a run to score more easily than it would have on a sac fly.
Swing there from Alexander. Fouls this one off, 1-1, but
got jammed pretty good. You can see him shaking out the hand, stinging.
Yeah, but Daniel, as you mentioned, that miscue on the sac fly for Ohio, not saying that it would have prevented a run, but definitely would have given the Kadets a better chance to make a play at the plate had Prince caught it cleanly instead of Torres making the grab himself.
Absolutely, and then, you want to put yourself in the best possible situations out there in the field to make a play. You don't always have to play hero ball, which, maybe Torres wasn't. I don't think that he was playing hero ball. I think it was just a form of miscommunication. But so you see that a lot in miscommunication examples. Someone's just trying to make the big play themselves. With that example, just Didn't talk enough.
Chopped over to third. Schnarr's throw to first is in time, and quickly the first two Bobcat batters are retired here in the sixth, and they're back to the top of the order.
That was a beautiful play over at third from Schnarr's. Charging, had that in-between hop, had to field it on the short hop. Got the glove hand way out in front of the body, fielded it on the forehand, threw on the run, a missile. Great play. It's exactly how it's taught.
Matt Einich gets out of the way of ball one, singled, and scored in the last inning after the triple from Ben Slanker. Called strike one there. Einich been a player of focus for Ohio all season long. Looking for multi-hit game number 16. If he can get on base here with a hit, as he sends this one into the left center gap. Maybe more communication here as Prince charges in to make the catch himself. And the Bobcats go down in order here in the sixth. We'll head to the seventh with Ohio still in front 4-3 here at Bob Wren. Top of the seventh, getting underway from Bob Wren Stadium. A defensive substitution for Ohio. Trenton Newer is now out in left field as Ryan Peterson sends this one into the right center gap for a leadoff single. Immediately, the Kadets have a runner aboard here in the seventh, the tying run on first base. Daniel, you talked about the last at-bat from Brady Alexander, how that pitch jammed him on his hands, and you wonder if that might be the reason why he is no longer in this game.
Yeah, no doubt. And, you know, like, we don't have the greatest angle. I mean, we have a good angle. We're looking straight down at the field, but in terms of how close that ball actually got to his hands, we don't have replay today, I should say. So I'm wondering if on that swing that he potentially might have gotten actually hit in the hand. I wouldn't think that would have happened. I think that we would have seen a lot more visible pain from Brady, but I'm wondering if either the jam or the potential that he got hit in the hand is what's causing him to now exit this ball game.
2-0 from Bonkel. This one popped into shallow right and foul ground rather at the wall. Slanker can't get there in time. That ball had some movement in foul ground, and Slanker unable to make the grab.
Slicing and slicing and slicing, and that is such a tough play. Once you get to that warning track down that line, or even up in fair territory, you know that your room is running out extremely quickly. And I think Ben Slanker just got a little too worried about the wall right there.
Schnars pulls back on the bunt, lays off, down and away, 3-1 to count to the third baseman.
And a lot of times you'll see fielders go into a slide, even if they would have caught it on the run standing. That way it braces the impact, lessens the blow, I guess I should say. But, I mean, that ball was literally right up against the wall. If Slanker went into a slide, he would have jammed his legs up as he came up. Really tough play.
Bonk will pick off to first. They got him. Hudson Bonkel catches Peterson napping at first base. And this crowd is going bonkers for Bonkel.
I like it. I like it.
I had to work something in there. Payoff pitch again. This one rocketed into right. Slanker going back. It's out of here. Schnars ties the game at 4. Bonkel picked off Peterson at first, and Andy Schnars says, "I'll make you pay for that." Lifts one over the right field wall. We're all tied at 4.
Second home run of the season, second of his career, and just like I talked about, we're gonna get a visit here to Bonkel. It might be the end of the day, but before we know for sure, now I'm blanking. No, I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh, earlier we talked about, as Bonkel is coming out, we talked about the starter for VMI, Lloyd. Gave up a home run after caught stealing. Same example here. Lessens the blow.
Day is done for Hudson Bonkel. New pitcher will enter for the Bobcats. We'll tell you more about him when we return from Bob Wren, all tied at 4.
That's Jacob Tate.
New pitcher for the Ohio Bobcats is Jacob Tate, the 6'6" graduate student out of Louisville, Tennessee, making his 10th appearance on the year. As Hudson Bonkel's day comes to an end after 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. He struck out 7 and walked 2.
got over the century mark in terms of innings pitched. Did Bonkel on the mound as Tate fires in his first pitch. Jacob Tate, one of the names we were talking about earlier, underwent Tommy John surgery last year, Carson, and he was a starter for this Bobcats rotation prior to that. He's turned into more of an opener in bullpen games this year, as well as an arm out of the bullpen. Kind of had to work his way back up to those longer outings, and he's embraced that bullpen role, and we see him again. This is his 7th appearance out of the bullpen, 10th overall. Like you said, he started in 3 games. The numbers not so friendly for him so far this year, an ERA at 14.5. He did throw 2 innings on Wednesday. He threw over 2 innings, and that was his longest appearance since coming back from Tommy John. Did give up a few runs, but the pattern for Jacob is he gives up runs in every other outing. So this would be the outing that he doesn't give up runs if that pattern were to continue.
We'll see if it does indeed. The 3-1 from Tate misses on the outside corner, and Kaz Jordan is aboard once again with a walk.
He does struggle with his command, as we saw right there. Up over 13 walks per 9 innings for Tate. He does strike out around 9 per 9. But the command has been an issue for him coming off of the surgery. It's a transfer from Kentucky. He spent his freshman year at Kentucky. His dad played football here at Ohio University back in the late 80s, early 90s. So the roots run deep here in Athens for Tate and his family.
He was the Tennessee Mr. Baseball in 2019, the state player of the year. It's the 1-0 from Tate. As Owen Prince squared around a bunt, he was able to pull back and lay off for ball 2.
Kaz Jordan down there at first, Carson getting a big lead. He was caught stealing earlier, but he's not shying away from taking that extra step.
We have time called for Tate to put his wristband back on. Wristband on his glove hand, the left-handed pitcher.
It's the pitch com, I think. He's looking down to get the signs on that, so that is mighty important for him.
Absolutely. 2-0 from Tate. This one he's finally able to find zone. 2-1 the count to Prince.
Not just a sweatband on the arm.
It's 2-1 from Tate. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second. Jordan in there in plenty of time. Showcasing his speed there from first to second. And with 1 out, the go-ahead run for the Kadets is in scoring position.
Stolen base number 33 for him. That was an outstanding jump, and Jacob Tate a little delayed getting to the plate.
Goes again, the throw down to third. Kaz Jordan steals second and third in the same at-bat. And Owen Prince draws a walk. Runners on the corners for the Kadets with only 1 away.
And you can almost guarantee that Prince will be on the move at some point in this at-bat. Kaz timed that delivery down. Jacob Tate a little slow getting to the plate. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right away here again on back-to-back pitches. You can see him bouncing around out there at second base, trying to get a good jump. That kid has some wheels out there at third, as does the Cadet at first.
Pickoff throw to first as Jordan took about 2 steps towards home. Cassidy able to look him back over to third.
Almost wouldn't have been a bad jump. It was a little lob pickoff throw, just keeping him honest at first.
Runners on the corners, 1 out. As Garner squares around a bunt, does not pull back, strike 1.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jacob Tate go towards the slide step right here. I don't know how much he's practiced that, and it's a tough thing to transition to, but Prince is going to be on the move any second.
Pick off to first. It gets back in time. Cassidy looks Jordan back to third. Go ahead run 90 feet away for the Kadets. One away in the top of the seventh. 0-1. Runner goes from first. No throw. Down to second. Stolen base for Owen Prince.
And that was one of those that, it's almost guaranteed that if Cotham throws that ball down to second, that Jordan's taking off. I think that they would have had a shot at Prince at second. He got a later jump, and that might have been by design. But eating it at the plate is Cothran, trying to prevent that run from coming across to score.
Tate misses low. Ball two. Jordan getting a big lead over at third. Two runners in scoring position. 2-1 the count to Bradley Garner. The 2-1. Outside 3-1 now. Bobcats do have a righty warming up in the bullpen.
This inning has a chance to go haywire very quickly for the Bobcats, with the middle of the order lurking for the Kadets.
3-1 from Tate. Right down Broadway, full count.
If I'm Bradley Garner at the plate, I am sitting fastball on this 3-2 pitch. Can't miss it.
Payoff pitch. Line into right field, down for a base hit. Jordan will score. Around third to home comes Prince. 2 RBI single for Garner. And the VMI Kadets have taken the lead here in the seventh.
That's exactly what he got. The fastball on the outside edge took it the other way, right over the first baseman's head, Trey Cassidy. Couldn't get up to it. He was ready for it, and he delivered. Bradley Garner, big-time piece of hitting right there for the Kadets. RBIs number 41 and 42 on the season.
4 unanswered runs for VMI, and now Grayson Fitzwater stands in, homered his last time up. Kadets looking to add to a new 2-run lead. This weekend is the first time ever that the Bobcats and the Kadets have met up on the baseball diamond. So VMI looking to not only even the series this weekend, but even up the all-time series as well. It's the 0-1 from Tate. At the eyes and outside, 1-1 the count. Fitzwater 2 for 3 on the day, also singled back in the first. One from Tate. Fitzwater fouls this one back. Fitzwater out of Suffolk, Virginia, started all 56 games for his team last season, and as you mentioned earlier, Daniel, broke the school's single-season RBI record last year with 63. Say he's well on his way to giving that number a run for its money this year as well.
Still has 16 games to do it after this one.
1-2, runner goes. Fitzwater fouls this one back. We'll try again at 1-2.
The delivery to the plate for Tate is what has given the Kadets a huge advantage in trying to swipe second. It just takes him an extra half a second to get that ball out of his hand compared to Bonkel that we saw through the first 6 innings.
1-2 again, down and away.
That one he got to the plate a little quicker. Came more forward with the delivery versus lifting the leg straight up. But that could also throw off command sometimes.
Pick off to first, just lobs it up there, and Garner able to get back in time. Sun peeking out a little bit over at Bob Wren Stadium, but a little more of a breeze, making it a little more chilly than it was at the game's start. 2-2, Fitzwater pops this one high in the air, and Cassidy underneath it makes the grab for out number 2.
And then that's a perfect time to mention the Sun. It leads right into the point of Trey Cassidy having to fight it on that pop-up right there. Hasn't been a factor for most of the game, but now that it is out, anything in the air with the Sun directly behind home plate creates a challenge for defenders in terms of actually seeing the baseball.
Now Cole Riley stands up with 2 outs. The pickoff over to first. Not in time. Riley 0 for 3, struck out twice. He did not play in the series opener. His first offer to Riley, hacked and missed. It's the 0-1 to Riley, down and inside, 1-1. Riley, top 30 in the nation in hit by pitches. He's been hit 14 times.
He's got a magnet on him.
He also has 12 multi-hit games, 5 games with 3 hits as well. So 1-1 to Riley. Runner goes from first, no throw, over to second, and Bradley Garner is into second safely.
It's number 21 for Garner. Cawthorn just didn't get a handle. Couldn't transfer from glove to hand. That is very important. Playing a team like VMI, and really anyone, when they're trying to steal.
1-2 to Riley, down and inside, evens the count 2 apiece. Last night, VMI, no stolen bases in the series opener, but they have really made up for it today in this Saturday matinee. 2-2 from Tate. Riley into left field. Just foul. That ball was blistered off of Riley's bat. All but would have scored Garner from second had it stayed fair.
That's when umpires are very appreciative of foul lines.
Absolutely.
It makes it a lot easier to see where the ball is, because you're right, that was just a couple of feet from being fair. But going back to your point on the stolen bases, the Kadets have 4 total on the day. Garner's was the 4th of the day.
We'll try again, the 2-2. Riley lays off this one outside, full count to the Ohio native.
And all 4 of them have come in this inning. Didn't get any off of Hudson Bonkel, but now with Tate in the game, the legs are churning.
Payoff pitch from Tate. Swing and a miss. Tate sits Riley down on strikes, his 3rd strikeout today, but not before 3 more runs come across to score, and the VMI Kadets take the lead. We'll stand up and stretch from Bob Wren, 6-4 VMI.
All right, Bobcat fans, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. But this time,
Marcus Van Alstine, the new pitcher for VMI. The 6-foot, 200-pound junior out of Mechanicsville, Virginia.
And Marcus Van Alstine needs just 2 innings pitched to set a single season high for him. Or I guess I should say a career high in a single season. He has struggled a bit on the mound for the Kadets this year, has an ERA approaching 8. And if you're the Bobcats, that's exactly what you want to hear, trying to come from behind now after VMI takes the lead in the top half of the inning. This is his 14th appearance. He's 2-1. Can rack up the strikeouts.
And you got to like your chances here with Ben Slanker leading off the inning. No easy start for Van Alstine.
Set to face 2 lefties here in the inning.
Slanker into the right center gap. This ball has some carry, and it's off the wall. Rolls around in center. This is going to be definitely 2 bases for Slanker, sliding into third. He's safe. Second triple of the day for Ben Slanker. And the Bobcats start their half of the 7th with a bang.
That was an outstanding job of recovering in center field from Owen Prince. That ball banged off of the Ohio logo in more right center field and caromed way back in to center field, but Prince caught up to it really quickly. I thought there was no chance at a play at third base, but they made it very close. And, Slanker still ended up getting in there safely with his second triple of the day and of the season. He didn't have a triple before today, and now he's got 2.
0-1 to Mancino, high and inside. Slanker. What's there to not like about how he's played, not just this game, but all season long for this Ohio team? Comes up clutch in more ways than one. Mancino quickly down 1-2, looking to avoid that golden sombrero. He's already struck out 3 times today.
Carson, it absolutely has been a breakout year for Slanker as Mancino takes around the chin. He could stick his tongue out and taste that baseball. But, Slanker hit 179 last year, only had 28 at-bats as a freshman. Now this year, 118 at-bats now.
Mancino down on strikes for the 4th time today. Check swing. And the appeal says he went around. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
But he is, the flanker that is, has just come onto the scene here in his sophomore year and been one of the biggest parts of this Bobcat offense.
The Canfield, Ohio native stands 90 feet away as Trey Cassidy pops up a bunt, and Peterson right underneath it to make the catch for out number 2.
Man.
You think Cassidy was trying to lay that one down and give Slanker a chance to advance?
Absolutely. There's no other reason why Trey Cassidy, who for the Bobcats has 12 doubles on the season, which is good for 3rd in the MAC, is up there trying to bunt, unless he's trying to drag one and get the run in. I am surprised that they didn't have him up there swinging away. He's got good pop in the bat.
It's the 0-1 to Nick Dolan. Check swing. He did go around 0-2. Dolan 0 for 1 officially. He's struck out back in the 3rd, but he has walked twice. He's had some pretty good at-bats so far today, but quickly down 0-2 the count. Van Alstyne delivers. Called strike 3. Got Dolan looking. Van Alstyne struts off the mound after giving up the leadoff triple. Sits Ohio down in order after that, and our count remains 6-4. We head to the 8th from Athens.
Over by the first base side of the stadium. They will give you further instructions at that point. Being on top of the 8th for the Kadets. Outfielder number 10, Boston Scoreless.
Julian Robertson enters the game for the Ohio Bobcats, the 6'6" freshman out of Ontario, Canada, making his 9th appearance on the year.
He's 0-2 with a 9.28 ERA, but like we talked about with Clark Driscoll earlier, Carson, you gotta maybe look past the number, the ERA number at least, to a certain degree, because Julian gave up 10 earned runs in his first 2 outings, and that elapsed 4 1/3 of an inning pitched. But since then, he's thrown 6 1/3 of an inning pitched and just given up 1 earned run. He has been lights out over his past several appearances. So, a valuable arm for this Bobcats staff out of the bullpen. The last time he gave up a crooked number was March the 11th against Morehead State, a hitter's dream of a ballpark. He went 2 innings in that one, gave up 7 of those 10 earned that I talked about.
It's a 4-pitch walk issued to Boston Torres to lead off the 8th, and right away, Kadets have a runner on looking for some insurance.
So this is his 7th appearance since that 7-run outing, and he hasn't struggled with the walks that much outside of those first couple of appearances. He's only given up 2 since that Morehead State game. That now he's given up 3.
Dolan creeping in as James Newsom showed bunt. He pulls back for ball 1.
Torres on at first. Certainly a threat to run. He's stolen 16 bags this season. I think that was a design pitch out. Right there on that first pitch with Newsome showing bunt at the plate. But Cawthorn wants to go out and have a chat just to make sure that they're on the same page. A very close game here in the later stages. Very manageable for this Ohio offense. You got to keep the deficit right where it's at. If you're Robertson on the mound, Cawthorn knows that.
One-0 the count to Newsome. 0-for-2 with the walk. Pitch out as Newsome pulls back on the bunt. A rare mid-season non-conference weekend series these two teams are playing. As VMI out of the SoCon, Ohio obviously out of the Mid-American Conference. 2-0. High and Newsome pulling back on the bunt once again. Daniel, before the game we kind of talked about the SoCon standings. Pretty interesting to look at as you got teams obviously who are no slouches like Eastern Tennessee State, Mercer, Wofford, VMI, all north of 20 wins. But the teams that are at the top of the conference right now, overall records in 19-15 and 14-18, Samford and UNC Greensboro respectively. A rather competitive conference, to say the least, at least on paper.
I know it absolutely is. I mean, you got a team that's 4 games under 500 overall on the season ahead of a team like East Tennessee State, who's 23-9 on the season. With that conference record, all that matters when it comes to those standings, UNC Greensboro 4-2, East Tennessee State 4-3, so they have played an extra game. But VMI sits at 4-5 in the conference, 21-14 overall. They are 5-5 in their last 10 ball games.
Payoff pitch down low, and Robertson comes into the game and issues 2 free passes right away. Runners on first and second, no out.
Through 7 straight to get it going, and that's unlike him. He couldn't find that release point in those first 7 pitches, was leaving a lot of them high and out of the zone, releasing his fastballs a bit too early. He did find the zone with a couple of pitches in that at-bat, a good sign for things going forward for him, but now he's got 2 runners on to work with.
Bunt by Peterson, foul down the third base line. And another interesting fact about this VMI program, as you look at the SoCon, you see a lot of teams like Wofford, like East Tennessee, Samford, who are constantly in the NCAA tournament picture year in, year out. VMI, one of 40 schools in NCAA Division I that has never made the NCAA tournament on the baseball field.
That is a staggering stat. I don't know if you guys are picking up what the fans are saying.
I want to say it's coming from the 110.
Well, I thought it was coming from 2 different directions. One to our right, one to our left. Somebody said you have to swing the bat. And then somebody else responded and said, I just said that.
I'd imagine the 110 had a say in that.
They might have a script coming into the game of lines of banter.
Now, while VMI talks things over, I mentioned the Kadets are one of 40 teams in NCAA D1 to have never made the NCAA tournament. Another team is one familiar to the Bobcats, and that is the Toledo Rockets, the only team in the MAC that has never played a contest in NCAA tournament action. Pick off to second, and they've got him in a rundown. Here's a throw to third. He's safe. And both runners now move up. A failed pickoff attempt results in Boston Torres advancing to third and James Newsome to second base. And now with 2 strikes and no outs, Ryan Peterson a chance to drive 2 runners home.
That's brutal. You have to have at least 1 out right there, and Bobcats held on to the baseball for too long, thinking that Torres was going to turn around and start back towards second, anticipating a throw to third. Instead, he just kept on chugging and got in there safely.
0-2 from Robertson, misses downstairs, 1-2 the count.
I don't know how good your guys' view at home is up the middle, but check out James Newsome's lead off of second base, Carson. He is getting way out there.
Infield in for Ohio, and that pitch runs up on Peterson. Got a piece of him, and now the bases are juiced with no outs. VMI a chance to bust this thing wide open.
Obviously, you never want to allow a free pass or hit a batter.
Especially with 2 strikes.
Yeah, both fall in the same category, but you can look at a silver lining in it that there's a force at any base now. But still 0 outs. Julian Robertson has run himself into a really, really tough situation. I think that's going to be the end of the day for him.
Julian Robertson unable to record an out. Issues 3 free passes here in the 8th inning. We'll have a new pitcher for Ohio, and we'll tell you more about him when we come back. 6-4 here in the 8th from Bob Wren. Dylan Eggle, the new pitcher for the Ohio Bobcats, as he warms up to Toby Keith, courtesy of the red, white, and blue, as he looks to help the Bobcats see clearly out of its big black eye. Bases loaded, no outs, trailing by 2 as Julian Robertson responsible for all 3 runners on board. Eggle, the redshirt junior out of Albion, Indiana, making his 15th appearance on the season.
A JUCO transfer from Southeastern Community College. This is his 15th appearance on the season.
Schnars pops this one foul, 0-1.
He's got 15 innings pitched overall, 20 earned runs, so that ERA sits at 12. Season high in innings pitched is 2 1/3. Strikeouts being 1. His last time out was a good one for him. Scoreless inning against Northern Illinois last weekend.
And Eggle's pitch runs up on Schnars. A free pass issued, and Boston Torres will come in to score. It's 7-4 Kadets.
The Bobcats are just shooting themselves in the foot here in this inning. 4 base runners, 1 run, no hits. Not even a ball put in play. Infield still stays in.
Bases loaded, still nobody out for Kaz Jordan, who hacks and misses there. I don't know if you caught it or not, but during the last batter when Schnarrs was at the plate, and you see it again, Mancino shifting heavily towards that right center gap. As Jordan grounds this one over to third and just foul. Dolan did get a glove on it. But you look out to straightaway center, Mancino playing heavy towards that right gap. He'll make his way back in, but that left center and really straightaway center even get a ball deep enough, could bring home 2, maybe 3 runs.
And
if you're Kaz Jordan.
It looked like he was directed towards that right center field gap by the coaching staff just a moment ago.
0-2, Jordan fouls this one to the Ohio dugout.
And he being Jordan at the plate, keeps fouling him off to the left side. So we'll see how the at-bat ends up here. But it did look like the coaching staff was directing Mancino towards that right center field gap. Must have seen something.
0-2 from Eggle. Jordan into left field, base hit. 1 run will score. They'll hold off another runner, Peterson, at third. RBI single for Kaz Jordan. And the lead is up to 8-4 now for VMI.
Station to station, their first hit of the inning. And that is Kaz's 3rd RBI on the ball game. He's now got 37 on the year. What once was a 4-2 Ohio lead has quickly evaporated.
6 unanswered runs for the Kadets, all coming within the last 3 innings. And still nobody out here in the 8th.
At the top of the order at the plate.
Owen Prince, who's 1 for 3. Lays off that one on the bottom outside corner. VMI, after this, they'll finish their series with Ohio tomorrow before heading to George Washington on Wednesday. This one up the middle. Here's the throw to the plate offline. RBI fielder's choice for Owen Prince.
And that's a tough play all around due to the fact that it hits off of Eggle's glove. Cam Bryant readjusts, makes a nice stop. The throw home was a little offline. It pulled Cawthron, who made a nice pick. It pulled him off the plate, though, which is why everybody was safe. The ball beat the runner, but the foot was not on home plate.
Now Bradley Garner still bases loaded, nobody out. Safe to say this game has gotten away from Ohio. And they'll have some work to do, but they still have to get out of this inning. One and one, the count to Garner. Called strike 2. Garner singled, drove in 2 back in the 7th to give VMI the lead. Now looking to add to it, the 1-2 from Eggle, down and away. Good block by Cawthron. Keep that ball from getting any further and advancing the runners. Still nobody out here in the top of the 8th. 2-2 from Eggle. Chopped over. Dolan fields it. No throw. infield single for Bradley Garner. A slow chopper to Nick Dolan, and he had no clue what to do with it. And another run scores for the Kadets.
Just soft contact, but the Kadets able to move the line. Once again, this inning started with back-to-back walks, then back-to-back hit batters, and a single through the left side from Kaz Jordan, who now stands on third. Owen Prince with an RBI fielder's choice.
This one hammered into left field, foul.
He stands on second, and then Bradley Garner most recently with the RBI infield single, and it is officially in the book. Owen Prince is getting credit for an RBI single, not a fielder's choice, despite Cam Bryant coming home with it.
They put it up on the scoreboard here at Bob Wren as a hit. We were waiting for the live stats to update there. 0-1 to Grayson Fitzwater, misses downstairs, evens the count at 1 apiece.
So 3 straight singles. 2 of them have left the infield, or 1 of them, has left the infield. 2 of them have stayed in.
1-1. This one finds the outside part of the zone, and feels like it's been a while since a Bobcat pitcher has been ahead in the count. And we see that here, 1-2, the count to Fitzwater. This one fouled back out of play.
Also officially an RBI infield single for Garner, if that was up for debate with anyone. No play for Dolan.
I think it was more clear of a ruling than it was the Owen Prince single.
Yeah, no doubt.
1-2 from Eggle, fouled off again. Probably landing somewhere over by Pruitt Field.
Well, now if you're Ohio, you've run into a situation where you're at risk of coming up to bat in the bottom of the 8th. Looking at a run rule situation, this batter at the plate represents the 14th run of the game for VMI, which would mean a 10-run lead for the Kadets if he is able to get all the way around and score.
Does the run rule apply in non-conference play? Fitzwater sends this one to left field. Trenton Newer underneath it. Runner from third tags. Jordan will score standing up. Sacrifice fly for Grayson Fitzwater. And finally, the Bobcats getting out here in the top of the 8th.
I believe the answer to your question is a yes. VMI is 11-1 this season in games that have ended in run rules. In fact, their very first series of the season came against Maryland Eastern Shore. Shout out our good friend Cedric Granger. They run ruled Maryland Eastern Shore in all 3 games, and that is an out-of-conference series. So there's your answer there.
There we go.
They played a combined 20 innings in that series.
Wow. So Cole Riley now with the chance to put the run rule in play. Both runners go. Called strike. Throw to third, not in time.
Nick Dolan not happy with that call. Nobody, for that matter, is happy with that call on the Ohio side of the spectrum. But a double steal right there for the Kadets. Owen Prince up to third base. Garner up to second.
0-2 to Riley. Called strike 3. Quickly 2 away now for the Kadets. Riley down on strikes for the 4th time today. Not a very welcoming return to your home state for Cole Riley, but he will likely get another chance at it tomorrow in the series finale. Kadets have batted around here in the 8th. It's Boston Torres. standing with 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position.
Mentioned the 3 strikeouts, all 3 of them in the last 3 innings. 4 strikeouts now, but he's got 3 of them in the last 3 innings.
0-1 to Torres. This ball gets away from Cothran. In to score from third comes Prince. 12-4, Kadets.
Backside to third goes Garner. The old phrase goes, speed kills. And it has certainly helped out the Kadets today. That ball did not kick too far away from Cothran at the plate, but Owen Prince getting a good read on it, able to come across.
1-1. This one misses down and outside. 2-1 the count to Boston Taurus. Game 2 at Ohio softball field underway, heading into the bottom of the 2nd inning, with Toledo and Ohio scoreless. Toledo taking the first game of the doubleheader, 8-5.
Are you seeing that on the scoreboard, or do you have it pulled up?
No, I can see that. I can see that on the scoreboard.
That is some good eyes. Man, that scoreboard is not close.
3-1, Torres up the middle. Einich fields it, throw over to first is in time. Finally, the Bobcats work their way out of the inning, but not before 6 runs come across to score. And Ohio having some work to do in the bottom of the 8th as they trail by 8, 12-4, Kadets here in Athens.
And 1 man left on base.
Ohio took a big blow in the top of the 8th, giving up 6 runs as VMI now leads 12-4 as Jackson Cothran will lead off for the Bobcats in the bottom half of the 8th. The marching 110 leading the crowd through some OHIO chants, trying to create some energy and get a rally going as the Bobcats have 6 outs remaining to work with.
Part of their issues at the plate in these last few innings has just been not being able to capitalize with runners in scoring position.
Cothran up the middle, off the legs of Van Alstyne, and Cothran, tough play at first, and the tag is made in time by James Newsom for out number 1. That ball ricocheted off of Van Alstyne's ankles, rolled right over to Newsom at first, and he had to hustle to field the ball and make the tag at first for the first out.
That officially goes down in the book as a 1-3 unassisted due to it hitting off of Van Alstyne on the mound. That was a very, very good play from James Newsome. Able to collect and apply the tag. That is not easy to do all in one motion.
Blake Reed quickly down 0-1. Daniel, what's your approach got to be at the plate if you're Ohio?
Well, you can't get it all back with one swing, right? You're down by 8 runs. You just have to. I mean, this is the saying is always. It's a very coach talk saying, but you just got to do your job at the plate. You have to focus on your at bat and only your at bat. Get on base for the guy behind you. Work some counts.
Reed past the glove of Kaz Jordan in the center for a base hit.
You can't get too caught up in the numbers on the scoreboard. You just got to go out there and play your game. It's easier said than done, obviously. Blake Reed does a good job right there of just staying true to himself, lining one right back up the middle. It's a home run does no good right now. A solo shot does no good for you. You got to get on base. You got to keep the line moving. Obviously, it gets you a run. It gets you one closer, but you need base runners. You need to start a rally.
It's the 1-0 to Cam Bryant is upstairs for ball 2. Bryant 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Ten unanswered runs from the Kadets.
I mean, the Bobcats have done a good job of getting on today. They're batting .286 as a team at the plate, 8 for 28. They've drawn 4 walks. So they've had the runners on. They've had a good approach all day. It's just come with runners in scoring position. They're 1 for 11 at the plate today in that department. They're going to get another chance here. And Trenton Newer is going to step up to the plate for his first at-bat. We talked about him being a defensive replacement for Brady Alexander. But 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, 0 for 7 with 2 outs. Only 1 out right now.
Trenton Newer at the plate for the first time today. The 6-foot graduate student out of Nicholasville, Kentucky, the Lexington Catholic product. After that first pitch, we will have a conference at the mound here. Sam Jordan, the head coach of the Kadets, making his way out. Newer batting .275 on the year, 10 runs batted in. He's homered once. He started in the series opener last night, was 1 for 4 with the runs scored.
It's tough right now if you're Jackson Cawthorn in the dugout. Hit a ball hard up the middle. A couple of deflections, or I guess one deflection, but a tough bounce for him is the reason that he's in the dugout and not on base. If that ball doesn't hit off of Van Alstyne on the mound, the Bobcats are looking at bases loaded with no outs right now.
1-0 to Newer. Newer lined into left field. It gets past Jordan for a base hit. Runners go station to station. Reed holds at third. Bases loaded, 1 out, and the Bobcats are at the top of the order.
Over at third now, Blake Reed had to hold up for a second just to make sure that ball wasn't going to get caught by Kaz Jordan at shortstop. A liner that just passed out of the outstretched reach of his glove, which is why Blake Reed was forced to go only 90 feet. I don't know that he would have been sent regardless, even if he was going on contact.
Einich grounds this one down the left field line, base it, no, foul. Not by much, however. We don't have the greatest angle from up here, but it's hard to see when that ball went foul. But again, not by that much.
For those watching at home, if the ball crosses the base, it's fair.
Einich over to second, and Garner can't field it cleanly. Reed comes home to score. Einich drives in a run from third. Slowly but surely, the Bobcats do cut into this deficit.
That'll go down as an error on Bradley Garner. But back to my point, if the ball hits in fair territory before the base, crosses over the base in midair, and then lands foul, it's still a fair ball. Which is where the confusion came in. The Bobcats thought that it crossed over the base. Obviously, the first bounce after it passed third base was in foul territory, but they thought that it crossed directly over top the base, which would make it a fair ball.
There's Ben Slanker, the dangerous left-handed hitter.
Doesn't matter now. Everybody's safe. Matt Einich reached. But just to break that one down for you.
This is the guy you want up if you're Ohio. Slanker into the gap. Caught. Tagging from third is Bryant. Sacrifice fly for Ben Slanker. 2 away. The Bobcats add 2 runners onto the board. They still trail by 6.
Still struggling with runners in scoring position. If it weren't for the error at second base, this inning very well could be over. If you are the Bobcats, they did get the hit from Newer with runners in scoring position, but now just 2 for 13 on the day. Obviously, the sac fly over, you take that, but in the situation that the Bobcats have themselves in, you need base runners. VMI will absolutely sacrifice an out for a run when they're up by 7.
It looks like we have a pinch hitter for the Bobcats. Caleb Carl stands in place of Paulie Mancino, the Fitchburg, Wisconsin native, batting just 143 on the year. He's out to a 2-1 count. Carl grounds this one over to short. Slow roller fielded by Jordan. Throw to first is in time to retire the side. Bobcats get 2 across, but they still trail by 6. We head to the 9th inning from Bob Wren, VMI, in control here in Athens. New pitcher on the mound for Ohio as Jimmy Serra gets the nod here in the ninth inning, making his 6th appearance on the year. Only pitched 3 full innings with a 27 ERA. The Chagrin Falls, Ohio native, looking to keep that VMI lead at 6. A little damage control for Jimmy Serra.
The mop-up roll, some might call it. Jimmy's 6th appearance of the season. He made his collegiate debut at Morehead State, gave up 4 earned runs there, and did not get an out. But since then, he's thrown 3 innings. It hasn't gotten much better for him. He's given up 5 earned in that time span.
His best outing was actually the last baseball game I had here on April 1st against Morehead State. Had a shutout inning where he did strike out a batter, did not give up a run. In a game, the Bobcats would fall 4-3 to Morehead State.
And just to clear that one up, they played twice against Morehead State. He struggled in his first appearance against Morehead State.
Yeah, just like
the one that Carson's talking about being his second.
College baseball a little different in the sense that we see a lot of non-conference games happen often more than once. Oftentimes it's home and home, similar to how Ohio played Dayton earlier in the season. They will travel to Dayton on Tuesday for the return matchup. 3-1 from Serra in the turf, and Newsom aboard with a leadoff walk.
Now batting for the Kadets, catcher number 16, Brian Peterson.
Well, the 8th inning for Ohio pitching was not pretty. 2 walks. They hit 2 batters, gave up 3 hits, and VMI made them pay on base as we're going to get a pinch runner here. They stole 4 bases in the inning, in that 8th inning, with the pinch runner for VMI is going to be Max Perry. Max, a freshman from Charlotte. He does have 16 stolen bases.
Peterson pulled back on the bunt. Perry, the 6'2 freshman. Little interesting fact, I know we're in the spring football season, still a little ways ahead, but Max Perry... Spring football, yes, but as far as the NFL, no, we got the draft coming up, actually.
Yeah.
Max Perry attended the same high school as none other than New England Patriots quarterback Drake May.
Oh, there you go.
May was, I believe, the 3rd pick in last year's draft.
Yeah, Myers Park High School. Interesting little nugget. Touche.
Let's pick off over to first, not in time. Perry sliding back into first safely.
I think May's got a lot of potential in the NFL, especially with how the Patriots have gone about their offseason, bringing in Stephon Diggs, among others, especially on the defensive side. They really revamped that defense.
It's a really fun next couple weeks we're going to have in sports. Obviously, still shaking off the pain of March Madness coming to an end at the beginning of this past week, but still a lot to look forward to. Pick off high. Nice athleticism by Cassidy to climb the ladder. He looked like a wide receiver out there.
Yeah, he did. There you go.
As baseball season in full swing, the NBA playoffs will begin next week, and the week after that is the NFL draft. As Perry goes, no throw over to second. A stolen base from Max Perry, excuse me.
Combine them. James Newsom reaches with the walk. Max Perry, stolen base. That is the 9th stolen base of the game for VMI.
2-1. Perry goes again, and that one gets a piece of Ryan Peterson, so he's aboard for the second straight time after being hit by a pitch.
And the dead ball means that Perry has to retreat to second, even though he would have been safe at third. It's like a foul ball. Everybody goes back.
Yep.
Except for, obviously, the runner in this scenario, or the batter in this scenario. Peterson reaches. Second hit by pitch of the game. Perry's been getting some good jumps. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go here again in the next couple pitches.
Andy Schnars. Sarah steps off the mound, throws back to second. Schnars homered back in the seventh, the last batter that Hudson Bonkel faced. Big lead for Perry. Schnars drops a bunt. Bare hand pickup by Sarah. Throw to first is in time. Sacrifice bunt from Andy Schnars.
That was a perfect bunt. Well, maybe not perfect. If it was perfect, he might have reached. But that was a perfect sacrifice bunt from Schnars right there. Bring Kaz Jordan to the plate with 2 runners in scoring position once again. Dropped it down. That was low and out of the zone. Got the bat head down to it. Poked it down the third base line. Perfect execution.
Now Kaz Jordan in, takes a called strike one. Jordan 2 for 3, 2 singles. We hinted at football a little bit. The Ohio Bobcats under first-year head coach Brian Smith. This ball grounded over to Einich. Run will score from third, and Jordan is in there safely. That ball kicked up in the turf off of Matt Einich's chest. He couldn't field it cleanly. And another run driven in for Kaz Jordan.
See how that one goes down in the official scorebook. That got on Einich awfully quick. It bounced right up to his chest, but...
Lined over to third, caught by Dolan just before it hit the ground. And Prince lines out to Nick Dolan for out number 2. As I was saying earlier, though, the Bobcats football squad, the reigning MAC champions, will be taking the field this year under first-year head coach Brian Smith. They have a late August 28th, I believe, is the date where they will travel to Rutgers to start the season. There's a bunt laid down over to Sarah. Throw to first is in time to retire the side. Well, speaking of football, the Bobcats trail by a touchdown as we head to the bottom of the ninth. 3 outs remaining for Ohio to work with. 13-6 VMI leads here at Bob Wren.
It's got 2.
Ohio down to its final 3 outs in the bottom of the ninth, and a lot of work to do, trailing by 7 as Marcus Van Alstyne back out on the mound for the Kadets, going for the 3-inning save.
Leading off the bottom of the ninth inning for the Bobcats.
For those back home wondering how is this a save opportunity, it's a 7-run game. There's some loopholes. Obviously, a traditional save would be if a reliever enters with a 1 to 3 run lead in the 9th inning and gets the final 3 outs. That's a save. Another way is if a reliever enters with the tying run on deck. If it's a 4-run game, say the bases are loaded, tying runs on deck, then it's a save situation. And the other way is if a reliever pitches 3+ and has the lead the whole time and gets the final out.
As Trey Cassidy grounds this one over to Garner. Throw scooped out of the turf by Newsome for out number 1. So to your point, Daniel, Marcus Van Alstyne entered this game to start the 7th inning. VMI has had the lead the entire time, and if you pitch the last 3 innings of a win, no matter what the score is, if you have the lead the whole time, that does go down in the books as a save. Van Alstyne 2 outs away from a 3-inning save.
That is if you're the reliever and not the starter.
Yes.
Because if you're the
Should
starter,
clarify that. You just get the win.
starter, you just get credit for the win. Yes.
Baseball scoring 101 with Carson Francis, Daniel Barner. 0-1 the count to Nick Dolan as he watches that one for ball 1. These two teams will meet right back here at Bob Wren tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Daniel and I will have the call along with Josh Herner on ESPN Plus. If you have access to ESPN Plus, we encourage you to tune in for what looks like right now will be the rubber match of this 3-game series. 1-2 the count to Dolan. One outside and away. 2-2. Sun starting to peek out more and more. This game just a little shy of 3.5 hours now, as the count runs full to Dolan, who still looks for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2, has walked twice. Payoff pitch, and that runs up on Dolan. Gets a piece of him. Third free pass of the game issued to Nick Dolan, and the Bobcats have a runner aboard with 1 out.
It's the second Bobcat that has been hit by a pitch. The first came all the way back in inning number 2, and it came from this man at the plate, Jackson Cawthron. He got hit up around the shoulder area, stole second, came around to score. It was the second run for Ohio.
Cawthron over to first, the catch and the tag, double play unassisted to end the game. VMI 13-6, the final score from Bob Wren Stadium. Bobcats fall to 9-24 overall. VMI improving to 22-14. As this weekend series is now even 1 game apiece. Daniel, the Kadets put up 10 unanswered runs to pull away in this one. They never looked back.
No, they did not, and it helped a lot with the base running. We've talked about it a lot today. They had 172 on the season coming into the game. Stolen bases, that is, leads the nation by 60+ now over Wofford, who's the next closest, and that is a fellow SoCon opponent for VMI. They have 112, do Wofford, but 9 stolen bases today for VMI. They had 1 stolen base from, let's count it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different players 3 with multiple stolen bases, and all 9 came in the final 3 innings of the ball game, Carson. So they applied a lot of pressure with their legs here today. I expect them to do a lot of the same tomorrow, trying to go for the series win here at Bob Wren Stadium. Like you said, the first time that these two squads have met up with each other here, whether it be a single game or a series. So now they are 1-1 all time against each other. But that final line score for you: 13 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the Kadets, 6 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Bobcats. Marcus Van Alstyne gets the save, his 3rd of the season. Jacob Tate gets the loss for Ohio.
So that'll wrap it up from Bob Wren Stadium on this Saturday. One final time, VMI takes down the Ohio Bobcats 13-6. Want to thank our producer, KJ, next door to us here in the press box. Alongside Daniel Barnard, I'm Carson Francis. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus for the rubber match between VMI and Ohio. Enjoy the rest of your day.